Hey guys, it's Rob here. Today, we get to cover a couple of areas with some interesting history to them, those being Lynnwood and Spokane, Washington. One of them was home to a Cybernetic 3 stage, one of the rarest stage types, so today, we're covering that and more. I want to go ahead and thank Mr. Elwood J. Blues, CEC Washington, the CEC fan, and Sap Kyle for requesting these areas. Mr. Elwood requested both Lynnwood and Spokane, while CNC Washington only requested Lynnwood and Sap Kyle only requested Spokane. Regardless, I'm covering both today. As usual, I've gathered information from multiple different sources, which I will be linking in the description. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, as in the next Showbiz Pizza Place video, I'll be announcing something big, which will change this channel in a way I think you Showbiz Pizza Place / Chuck E. Cheese fans will enjoy. Anyways, let's get into the history of Showbiz Pizza Place and Chuck E. Cheese in Lynnwood and Spokane, Washington. I'm going to be covering the entirety of Spokane before moving on to Lynnwood, so let's start with the basic info of Spokane. Spokane is named after the first people who lived in the area, the Spokane tribe, meaning children of the sun in Salishan. David Thompson, an explorer at the time, explored the area and established a trading post there, the first long-term one in Washington. In 1881, the Northern Pacific Railway was completed, bringing settlers to the area. It was also the same year Spokane became incorporated. As of the 2020 census, the population of the city is 228,989, making it the second largest city in Washington. The 2301 W. Wellesley Avenue location, or Wellesley as I'll be calling it, opened on April 14th, 1983 as a Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza Time Theater. It was a franchise store when it opened, but I don't know who the franchise was. Unfortunately, we don't have any photos or videos of this location, so we don't really know exactly what it looked like. Considering it opened in 1983, my assumption, based off ShowbizPizza.com's list, is that they may have had Madame Oink first and switched out to Helen. Though considering the date the place opened, they may have started with Helen and kept her like all other locations did eventually. This location received the 1988 remodel between 1989 and 1990, which painted the walls to white, changed the interior decor to newer decor such as these movie posters, added blue and white awnings to the salad bar, added checkers across the store's interior and exterior, and changed the exterior to Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza. Without any photos or videos, we're unsure as to what extent of the remodel this location got. We do know that at the same time they got the 1988 remodel, they also got the Chuck E.'s house facade, often referred to as the C stage. Between 1993 and 1994, the stage would be removed in favor of a two-stage. At the same time, this location received the major 1990s remodel, which updated the decor again and removed the blue and white awnings. It also may have updated the exterior, but without any photos we can't be sure. Unfortunately, this location closed in March of 2000 and was relocated to the next location we're going to be talking about as a decision by the franchisee. Today, the area has now become a part of a Walmart. As for the animatronics, they were actually not destroyed or sent to another store for spare parts. Instead, they were sent to the Lynnwood, Washington location, which we'll be talking about later. I'll get into further history about them once we get to Lynnwood. For now, let's talk about the other Spokane location. The 10007 in Nevada Street location, or Nevada Street location as I'll be calling it, opened in March of 2000 as a Chuck E. Cheese's with a Studio C Alpha. It also had Phase 3 upon opening. Between 2008 and 2009, this location received Phase 4, which removed the showroom walls, removed some older decor for newer decor, and also relocated the stage, which is interesting. The exterior, however, remained untouched, which can be seen by a Google Streets capture from September of 2011. Before we talk about that, there's a video from July of 2008 which shows off the store after it had received Phase 4, and shows off a lot of the store. We see many of the games they had, the Skytubes, and in the back, the Studio C Alpha, which is behind the curtains in this video. We also get to see the classic Avenger Chuck walk around. We can also see the purple walls showing they had received the remodel, as well as the lack of showroom walls. As can be seen by this photo, the exterior is still Phase 3, and you can even see the cool Chuck artwork on the doors, which is cool. Also cool are these posters, the left one showing off the ticket blaster and the right one advertising Chuck E. Live. There's also this slide, which may be from the toddler zone back then. There's a video from February 25th, 2012, that shows off the location, but not as much of it this time. Funny enough, we see these two posters which look like the ones you could see on the outside, though I'm not sure if they're the same ones or not. Other than that, it looks about the same as it did before, with them still using the Avenger Chalk walk around. You can also see a show playing in the background here, likely Best of CEC TV 2012, which played around this time. We see another video from the same channel that was uploaded over a year later, in which we see nothing's changed, unsurprisingly. It is interesting to see them still use the Avenger Check walk around though, as this was early 2013, after Rockstar Check was announced. I've been told that the Avenger Chuck walk around stuck around for a while after the announcement, though, so I guess it makes sense. By 2015, the exterior changed slightly, with one of the sides of the building getting a small Phase 4 awning, with the purple and red coloring. There's also this video from March of 2016 that shows off a birthday from the location. The only difference I can see here is that they got the Rockstar Chuck walk around at this point. Based on photos, it seems like this location got rid of their sky tubes in 2020 due to a certain pandemic. Other than that, the location hasn't changed much since they got Phase 4 back in 2007 to 2008. There's one unique aspect about this location, though, that being the Pizza Time Theater window at this location. This was from the original Spokane location, which is very cool to see. It is the only one left in the United States. Honestly, this is very cool, and to think that this store is one of, if not the only one left to have it, is insane. Of course, it's also cool that this store is still mostly Phase 3, with all the older decor it still has. As of October 2023, this location still has a mix of Phase 3 and 4, and still has their Studio C Alpha. They also still have that Pizza Time Theater window. I don't know when this location was receiving 2.0, but whenever it does, I hope that Pizza Time Theater window makes it out. Even if a corporate person decides to take it, it doesn't deserve to be destroyed. Although the Snohomish tribe used the area for summertime activities, the first American settlers in the area arrived in the 1880s when the area was being used for logging. The area didn't become incorporated until April 23rd, 1959, on their second attempt at it. As of the 2020 census, the population of the city is 38,568, making it the fourth largest city in Snohomish County. There was a piece of time theater at 18811 28th Avenue, but literally nothing is known about this location except its address. The area is now a chain of businesses. There was also a previous Showbiz Pizza place at 3815 196th Street, which we also have no info on except for the address. The area is now a place called Body by Burness. I would say more about these places, but there's literally nothing to say about them. The 3717 196th Street Suite 100 location opened in August of 1986 as a Showbiz Pizza place. There's a chance that this stage is from the original Showbiz Pizza place location in Lynnwood, due to the fact that this location could be a relocation of that original location. This is also supported by the fact that the addresses are similar, both on 196th Street. I can't confirm this though. Unfortunately, we don't really know anything about the store when it was a Showbiz Pizza place, and have no photos or videos of the place as a Showbiz. Beginning in 1989, due to a disagreement between Aaron Fechter and Showbiz Pizza Time Inc., concept unification occurred, in which every Showbiz Pizza place would convert their Rockafire Explosion van into Munch's Make Believe van. Linwood would be one of the vast majority of locations to undergo this change, though we don't know when. Probably at some point between 1990 and 1992. We have a couple pieces of footage to look through during this time. The first is from August of 1995, with a video that shows off the three stage. They seem to be moving well here, which is nice to see. We can also say that Chuck had his first iteration of his latex mask. Second is from 1996, which shows off some of the location, mainly the showroom. Let's talk about the other bits first. We see a few games, rides, including this ride, which I've never seen the Chuck E. Cheese version of before, and the ball pit. It seems this location received the 1988 remodel at some point, seeing as there are checkers on the wall, but it had also received the major 90s remodel at this point as well, which can be seen by the posters on the wall. Also, side note, I've never seen this sign before. It may have been the precursor to the showroom sign we saw during the 90s remodel, but that's just a guess. Moving on to the showroom, we see that the stage isn't in the greatest shape. Munch especially is not moving well and seems to have broken movements in his arm. Jasper's movements seem to be slower as well. Actually, a lot of the movements on the characters seem to be slower. It makes me wonder if the air compressor was being used on too low a PSI setting, or if something was broken, either the air compressor or the animatronics. It seems more likely that some movements aren't working properly though, seeing as Munch's arms seem to not move much. We see by this point that Chuck had received the second iteration of his latex mask. In 2000, the original three-stage animatronics at Lynnwood were replaced with cyberamics from the Spokane location. Cheese-e-pedia claims that it was due to disrepair of the original animatronics, but the way they were looking in 1996 isn't quite what I would call disrepair. Unless they were never being repaired, I don't see how that would be the reason for the removal. I have no clue what happened to these original animatronics, so if you have any idea what happened to them, comment down below. We don't have much in the way of photos or videos during this time, but we do have this photo of Chuck, likely from 2005 since this scarf is apparently from that year. We can see that he's still wearing his tux and derby during this time as well, which is cool to see. There's also this photo of the stage, which looks like it could be from around the same time due to the quality of the image. Again, that's just a guess. We don't have a year for this photo. Something I also forgot to mention is that this stage used a mix of 3-stage props and 2-stage props, which is interesting. There's a video from summer of 2013 which shows off the showroom again. We see by this point that Chuck had his Avenger Chuck clothes, but he also seems to be wearing a yellow and red shirt underneath, which is odd. The animatronics seem to work quite well here, which is good to see. There's also a video from a few days later by the same channel doing a store tour, giving us a look at the games, the decor, and the sky tubes. We do get to see the animatronics again, but I assume this video was taken around the same time as the last one, so there's nothing more for me to say here. I wanted to go ahead and mention a few things that I didn't say anything about before. Firstly, yes, the store still had the major 90s remodel up to 2023, and yes, Jasper had his Pizza Time Theater mask up to 2023 as well. Both of these things, combined with the fact that this was the last Cyberamic 3 stage, make this location very unique. They did get rid of their skytubes as well, likely in 2020 due to a certain pandemic. Munch's hat was also removed at some point between 2019 and 2022. Up to July of 2023, the animatronics were still working well, as can be seen by footage around that time. Unfortunately, this location closed permanently on July 23rd, 2023. Chuck was aired down on July 20th and would not be aired up again until the last day, on July 23rd. Apparently, the reason for closure was because the owner wanted to demolish the building in order to build condos on the space. Over the course of the next month, things inside the store were packed up in boxes, and on August 20th, the animatronic characters and some artwork were loaded onto a Penske truck. The animatronics and the artwork apparently went to the Showbiz Pizza Time distribution warehouse, while the rest of the artwork was destroyed and put in a dumpster. If this is true, it makes me wonder what their plans with these animatronics are. Surely they're not going to do something else with them, right? I'd be surprised if they didn't destroy them, honestly. What's odd, though, is that there's pictures of them being wrapped in packaging, which is odd if they were going to be destroyed. I guess we'll have to see in the future what happens. As for the building, it was gutted a few days later on August 23rd. As of October 2023, I believe the building still stands, but the building is empty, with only a paper poster giving addresses to other locations remaining. The building will be destroyed at some point in the future for condos. It's sad to see this location go, but I do hope the animatronics actually do get reused for something in the future. I'm not betting on it, though. Overall, Spokane and Lynnwood had some very interesting things to talk about. With Spokane's Cyberamics being sent to Lynnwood and now being at the Showbiz Pizza Time distribution warehouse, the special Pizza Time theater window at the current Spokane store, and Lynnwood having one of two Cyberamic 3 stages, and being the last one to have it before it closed. Overall, these were some very interesting areas to talk about. Thank you guys for watching this video. I was excited to cover these areas, but if I'm being honest, there wasn't as much info as I thought there would be. There were still fun areas to cover though, with their very unique traits. My next video is going to be covering another 3-stage location, this time being in Fargo, North Dakota. If you're interested in seeing that video, make sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you're notified when that drops. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.